Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFTLive on the Web3 Network. We're about to take you around the industry and back in just around an hour's time. Nice to have you. Nice to be sitting with you folks here. Biggie Poppins, Gift Dead. We're having ourselves a great little morning. We've hosted multiple shows. We're rolling into NFTLive. I'm just hyped up on all this Mountain Dew, man. All these alphas and Mountain Dews, and not the Daniel Alegre interview, which I'll get to in just a second. There's a reason I'm wearing this Ape Fest Hong Kong shirt. We'll touch on that. Anyways, some good news. Biggie Poppins, hit me with it, dude.
It's a great morning. What am I hitting you with? I'm confused. Which part of it? Which of all?
Anything positive.
Man, it's a fantastic morning. I'm pumped to be here. There's so much to talk about, man. I'm just like, I feel like I'm just blindly swimming in the SEI ocean now. Like no life vest, no nothing. Don't ask me for due diligence or for smart takes. I have none for you folks. I'm swimming blindly as we speak. I'm just following the herd and enjoying myself doing so. I understand why now. When the degen takes hold of you, it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful elixir. I do hope by the end of this week though to be back and have better takes. Maybe a little more informed. But for this week, it's Biggie unhinged, sir. Hope y'all enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a broader crypto market discussion. I know, we don't want to psy up ourselves into thinking we're going to be in an extended bear market anytime soon. But on the front lines, it feels like there's a lot of activity still. All of these altchains seem to be picking up momentum. We're going to touch on what Biggie just hit right now, the SEI ocean of opportunity, all of this stuff. There's so much going on. So we're going to touch on that in just a moment. I do want to hit Gift Dead here first, not physically. How are you doing today, sir? Nice to see you, GM.
I'm pretty good. I'm still waking up today. Y'all
Biggie,
feel...
don't let Biggie do
it. I didn't say shit. I didn't say.
Biggie been roasting me since before I was even out of bed today. It feels like y'all are very euphoric right now, which always gets me a little bit concerned. Which again, I keep trying to temper myself a little bit, because I feel like, exactly like Biggie just explained, a lot of people are gonna just be aping into whatever is happening on certain chains or with certain narratives, and that shotgun approach, maybe you'll hit on a few things doing it that way, but I also think you're gonna end up wasting a bunch of your resources on a bunch of vaporware. And so I don't know, man. I'm just trying to take a more nuanced approach. But Biggie's had some good calls so far, though. I mean, I'll say that much. I'm still holding a bag of THC. I think that's gonna. I don't know. I hope that still has a run.
All right. Of all of us, Gift Dead should probably, other than I guess maybe Hudah. Hudah has had a Quantum Cat white list here for a minute, so I'm sure he's running on all-time highs. And he got in Yaka Finance. We'll touch on that in just a moment.
Please say you did, Mid.
He did. I saw it.
Bro, euphoric as fuck right now. Holy shit.
Okay, now I'm getting worried. I'm getting fucking worried.
No. And honestly, nothing to do with SEI and nothing to do with any. I'll tell. We'll talk about it.
All right. I was trying to set up this piece here. I'm having trouble getting to it. But GIF, you should be euphoric right now. You getting fucking free NFTs?
I got hooked up with an outline. Yeah, this is very nice. So shout out to Ugg Tramalness. I think it's across the SEI. That's easier to say. So shout out to this friend who caught my woe is me, feeling bad for myself because my transaction didn't go through on the mint. I was really wanting this, and he airdropped me one. So pretty fucking cool. Shout out to you, friend.
Yeah, now he's rewarding the behavior, though. That's my concern.
And I do see that you're part of the Fish DAO, which, congratulations. I think it will be the greatest of DAOs in the Outlines ecosystem. So
probably, maybe not.
Yes, it will.
The Fish DAO. Is it because of the hat or because of the
yes?
And
both.
But there's a fish.
You're doubly
also.
fishy.
See, this is
You're
what you
probably a
nakeds
fisherman.
do. This is what you naked dobs do. You say, oh, the nakeds are a certain type of naked. There's a fish on his hat, but there's another fish in the collection where a guy's holding an actual fish. So that doesn't count?
No, he's doubly fishy. He's doubly fishy. He probably smells like the ocean right now. Q.
It's not right. Nox Darkness saying OVOT, Christian Jensen, GM to you, sir. DP, what's good? Justin Casey, DM me after the show, please. I have an important conversation that we need to have. He's saying also, yeah, nice GIF. There you go. Are you getting going? Are the juices flowing now?
I mean, you know, it's good. I very much appreciate the love. It's very sweet, and I wanted an outline pretty badly. I'm very bullish on outlines.
Yeah,
I really
also
am.
The floor's moved since you talked about them,
dude. I swept up 3 of them. I got a little excited about them this morning too.
Bro, here's the thing. It's really easy to me. If you just go search through palette and you just scroll through it, first of all, it's unique. Like the artwork is very unique. It stands out. It does not look like anything else that's out there. It has a really legit artist. The quality is awesome. And there's no other fine art, like nice artist-driven PFPs anywhere on there. So it's just like, dude, it feels like such an obvious play to me.
Fisker Karma. Sorry, I got fish on the brain here. The fish head in outlines is feeling like a must-add for myself. Looks elite for a SEI PFP. Okay, we're going to touch on a lot of other chains, by the way. This is not, again, going to be super heavy SEI focused, although it was a big morning. We're going to get to that Yaka piece in just a moment. This is the episode that we have upcoming. So we're going to touch on Quantum Cats. That was officially delayed. I think, Hudah, you were on top of that one, saying that, yeah, I think this one's going to get pushed back. We are going to touch on SEI. We're going to hit on base. And Berachain's kind of a catch-all for like any other project that we're going to talk about. Like I just threw that one up there because I think it's important that you maybe get ahead of it. The timeline for Berachain is probably where SEI was like 3 months ago. Maybe even 4. Like it's on a different kind of timeline, but there's some awesome backers. I think they have some really cool, innovative ways they're pushing that out. So we're going to hit on all of that. I'll drop that also in the comments for y'all to help support per usual. You guys have been awesome. We're also going to do a giveaway here on NFTLive because Simply, who you know, Biggie Poppins, is in the Naked Dops. He's got a generative art drop that we've shown on the channel. I'm going to try to get to his collection maybe here in just a moment. But we'll do a giveaway for 1 whitelist. It is a free mint, so it's essentially a giveaway for 1 free mint of this upcoming generative art drop on the SEI blockchain. So keep a lookout for that. We'll get it started. Gifted, before we get to Hudah's amazing win today, I'm excited because I didn't get on. None of the rest of us 3 did. Let's hit them with the disclaimer. Make sure that they know not to do anything crazy out there in the streets.
Sure thing. Sure thing, Q. This is important, fam. Listen up. No matter what anybody says up here on this stage or anywhere else out there, no matter what anybody would try and convince you of, just remember, this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors, never have been, never will be. It's not what we do here on the Web3 network. I know we sound smart. I know we look intelligent, and all these things may be true, but we're not financial advisors. Always do your own research and don't forget it. Thank you.
All right, we're off and away on this episode. Oh, wow. Oh, Hudah, you just
Thou shalt
implicated
not
yourself.
speckle.
You just implicated
What's
yourself.
that? I missed it.
All right, here we go. NFT Live today. We've got about 50 minutes, about an hour to get it all in. So let's jump on in. If you're watching on YouTube, either live or afterwards, y'all are awesome. We have been simulcasting to X for quite a while, but it feels like the momentum's picking up on that side, and you guys can comment as well, and we'll see them up here on the screen. So just letting y'all know that. All right, Hudah, Biggie. I know you're energetic, but we're in the middle of a show here, sir.
I was gonna forget, and so I was just like, do this thing real quick.
Hudah, let me know your experience, okay? We had a Yaka Finance drop. It was very much, we'll start with Say here. It was very much hyped up. It was going to be one of the bigger mints. It turned out it was. I think it's probably done almost 1 million, if not 1 million, a Say in volume in the course of like 6 hours. You were able to get your hands on one. Just go through the story, man. Oh, muted.
I actually thought you got one too. I thought I asked you and you said yes, and I was pumped for you. Damn, dude. Yeah, I was excited to see I got it. More excited when I saw it was the OG roll, which thank you, WeBump. That thing just keeps coming through and paying dividends. So, dude, it was just such an easy process. There was no stress. Like, I'm still stressed about Quantum Cats with Say and with that mint in particular. Nothing, dude. I just like, mints live. I go and I buy it and I'm done. I see my Yaka. I don't know what their official name is, but I see
Voyagers.
Dude, they're so cool. They look great. Knowing that they've got some cool, like, kind of perks, right? Some royalties or revenue. There's so much more to them. And I just get so excited, dude, like when I hear Beanie talking about this ecosystem and his investments in it. So, man, it was a really, really big win. I'm thrilled with this Say ecosystem right now. I mean, I think Gift's point earlier, it is always a little worrisome when people are euphoric. Like, so far, there's like no losses on Say, and that's going to change. But right now, I'm enjoying it while it's there.
Please tell me you know the real utility of holding this, other than the 10x that you got, sir. Congrats, by the way. You're getting dropped Yaka Finance tokens, right?
So I was aware something about that, and then again the royalty thing. It's just I didn't understand it because people are like asking questions about it at the same time. Random people are answering, and they're half getting it wrong. Like, I'm not very clear on it all.
Yeah, I think what happens is you get a percentage royalty of everything traded if you're the minting wallet. So even if you get rid of the NFTs in that wallet, Hudah, make sure you always keep the wallet that you minted from, because the royalties will go into that wallet from each trade on that NFT.
So royalties on that specific NFT or any Yaka in that collection?
No, that specific NFT. Okay. That specific NFT, you'll get into that wallet when it's
now,
traded. Now, if it never shakes hands, it doesn't matter.
I was going to say, it's specific to the NFT itself, not whatever token trades that wallet does while having the NFT, because that might be fun.
Yeah. It's cool just by itself, too. I haven't seen that in any of the ETH collections. Have you guys?
I remember, there's some music NFTs that do something very, very similar. And I don't know if that was on like Compass or which, but I always thought that was a really, really cool perk that you reward people for. You reward the secondary traders and collectors by giving them royalties down the line. I think that's something that we haven't even tapped into enough yet.
All right, Crypto Elf is saying, dumping my puppets and frogs and sweeping Yakas. Okay. All right, we're red pilling a ton. We need a goddamn referral link.
Bitcoin frogs, for real?
Jesus.
That's euphoria for you.
That's. I think that's actually smart. I'm not, like, I like the Bitcoin frogs. I like a lot on Bitcoin, but that might be a really smart play there.
Gif, how many people do you think we've red pilled into Say ecosystem at this point?
I think about half of it.
Yeah, I bet you're right. Can I just maybe urge a little caution here too? Like,
always temper us.
We need it, right? My concern is that Say becomes more like Tezos, where like prices fall down to, it's so much cheaper to transact there, right? What if it becomes the cheaper blockchain too, which is fine if it does, but those outlines, as great as they look, there's a lot of great looking NFTs over on Tezos, and like they're $20, $30 or so, maybe $5. So right, you just got to keep that kind of stuff in mind.
Here's the difference, and it gets back to what Q brought up and we were talking about yesterday. Tezos does not have a rich DeFi community.
That's a big point. Actually, that's a huge point. That's going to tie into something I'm going to talk about here after. That's the main point, actually. Big brain, dude. Jesus.
Just remember that. So I don't see Say going the way of Tezos necessarily.
Dude, I actually, you completely changed my mind, like just right there. Again, because of this other point, this other thing we have to talk about. It's kind of all about DeFi and where the liquidity is.
Yeah. So the examples that it's been awesome being within Say, because we can see it develop from the inside out, as opposed to kind of, hey, what's going on? Like literally from the grassroots almost, we've been able to be there. The one thing I will say is, like, you look at some things like Flow, Wax, Tezos, all of these blockchains that have never, Polygon is one we bring up a lot, that never got it. There's never, it never hit. You're just like, well, what's kind of the common denominator with all those? There's not really a rich DeFi ecosystem either. And I'm not saying it's one for one, but damn.
Well, and
they
the thing
tried.
is, Tezos had all of the culture and the creators, but again, it's you need the balance of both. Right. So like when I get upset about like Blur, it's not because I don't understand why you need traders. It's that it went way out of whack in one direction, because you need traders and artists and creators. You need a balance. You need both to come together to build a robust ecosystem where everybody thrives and everybody's winning. And so Blur kind of came and swung it really hard in this direction where it's just like, we're just DeFi, we're just trading, we're just liquidity, etc. Right now, again, like you're starting to see this emergence again of a really awesome holistic culture where you've got traders, DeFi, etc., and a ton of creators who are all incentivized to build on this new ecosystem. And so that's why I really hope that, you know, you don't make the same mistake of sort of like bastardizing that or taking it for granted and kind of throwing artists and creators under the bus, because that's part of the equation. It makes the whole ecosystem work. So Tezos had all the creators and all of the fucking artists, creating the culture, but they didn't have the traders, right? So they didn't have that other side. They didn't know how to bring in the DeFi and that the liquidity side of it. So again, it was way out of whack and out of balance in that direction, right? So again, what's happening right now on SEI is this really awesome combination of the two things where you've got art and creators and builders incentivized to come, and then you've got the DeFi and all the different gadgets and things that the traders and the liquidity want to chase, and it's all merging together on this one chain. So anyway, I just hope, however we progress with SEI, that like somebody like a Beanie or whoever doesn't come in just thinking about themselves and making a ton of money as fast as possible at the detriment to ruining this burgeoning new beautiful ecosystem that's growing, because that can happen.
It's not necessarily like a SEI focused show. Again, we're spending a little bit of time just because we had that huge mint this morning. But I will say, like on Say What in the Morning, which we host at 11 a.m., I'm going to make it a point and try to put the word out there of what Gift Dead is just saying, which is, let's make sure we don't repeat the fucking same mistakes that we did. Now, I'm not as bought into the idea that it wasn't just like a bear market that killed a lot of the market and the people's ideas and why the collectors went all away.
It's 1 + 1 = 3. It's not just one. Like it's always more nuanced than that. Yeah.
But I would put out to Palette right now. Don't do anything drastic. I would also put it out to Market, which is the SEI NFT marketplace. Don't do anything drastic while we're having these wins. And I don't think that happened for a very long time with Ethereum. It was like a 7 month, maybe even a 1.5 year long period where we did have royalties. And then once the market started turning, people got competitive and it kind of fell apart. But anyways, Hudah, you've been wanting to hop in here. What's up?
Just a couple points. One, man, there's something about Beanie that I like. I always feel like he is looking out for the little people. Like I really do. And it's probably because I've made a lot of money.
After he positioned himself all across the fucking board. I mean, let's just kind of keep it level.
Did you listen? Did you listen?
He made the calls right after he positioned himself though. So it's
did you listen to Leap Space, Hudah?
Is that the one where he did his talked about kind of historical stuff?
It was last night.
I didn't hear it. I know he did it, and I'm gonna go back and listen. Not good. Oh, I can't wait. Again, I like the guy.
It's just the thing is that he is a lot of things. He's a smart dude, but the thing is, he's said that he would address a lot of the allegations about his scammy behavior in the past, and he never has. And that's what people are upset about, is that like, dude, you said you'd address this stuff. You've never addressed it. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you've done that there's receipts on that can be proven on chain, and he's just ignoring it and sweeping it under the rug. And now he's back again to pump himself up and pump his bags.
Yeah. But I feel like people saw his response. Like, he even in a thread this morning, he got even more in depth with it, because I think people thought there were still unanswered questions. And I thought, like, I've kept up on it pretty well, and I thought he addressed pretty much everything.
Did you feel like he cleared it up, or like, see, to me the only thing is that there's a suspicious aura around this personality, right? Whether it's provable or not, or has been addressed or not, the fact of the matter is there's smoke around there. And to me, it's all good. I love what he's doing. By all means, go pump your and everybody else's bags. The whole thing about, though, when you say like he's looking out for the little guy, that's the part where I think it's very important to highlight and say, hey, don't necessarily buy into this shit. Like, don't, because we've done it too many times in this space before, whether it's SBF or other people, to think that there's like some type of benevolence out there that whatever these moves this guy makes is going to be
there's a lot of
for the good of everybody else.
There's a lot of sus alpha callers, and Beanie's not a sus alpha caller. That's where I'm with Hudah on this. He's not a sus alpha caller.
I might be a sucker, but like, to DP's point there, when he said Beanie said he cried himself to sleep, I think he actually did. Dude, I go a lot by feeling, and I think I feel that is him, and I think he is genuinely looking out for people while he's making piles of money on the side too, being smart and getting into stuff early. But he shares it to Q's point. He shares that stuff so damn early.
I hope he doesn't hurt your feelings, brother, because then I'm gonna be pissed, real pissed.
To be clear, DP's statement is mocking him. He says, "I know, get the fuck out of here." Okay, it's like,
I believe that he did cry himself to sleep.
But even so, what he's doing is he's trying to reposition himself as a victim. Look,
I don't want to have the TMZ convo on the show. It's just a waste of time.
So I'll get to my other point then.
All I want to do
is just tread carefully. I think that's what me and Giff are trying to say. Is like, it's like, just be cold-headed, be rational. Don't buy into this thing. Like it's like, whack me. Everybody's gonna, like, we're all gonna tell each other before we dump. It's not gonna never happen.
It hurt.
Yeah,
like
just
Beanie.
You got 20 seconds, fellas.
Exactly like Biggie's saying. Just don't buy into this narrative that he's here for the little guy, or that he cares about anything other than making a shit ton of money, because I don't think he does. And this whole like, oh, I feel bad for me, I was crying, is like fucking nonsense, dude. Like, fucking not. He got caught doing a bunch of shady shit, and now he's trying to make it seem like the space did him wrong and people mistreated him, and like, woe is me.
Friday show, we should get into this. Our Friday 5-hour show, let's get deeper, because I think he was done dirty. I love you, Beanie.
All right.
Can I make one other quick point?
No, we're transitioning. Let's go. Last point.
Okay, the point was, when we were talking about Tezos and they don't have DeFi, just this really interesting thing I noticed. The artists scared that kind of scene away. They did, because art is so pure and people flipping art and you know what I mean? They're like, even FX Hash, they like self-imposed, the community did this themselves. They said, let's not trade any of these NFTs for 7 days. Let's just have that as a gentleman's agreement. And when you give that kind of energy in an ecosystem, you're not going to have the degens come in, and they kind of really hurt themselves. That's not a knock on the artist, but it is just kind of what happened there. Bummer.
No, but it's absolutely right. And again, it's the one-sidedness of it, of not understanding why you need the other side, right? So this is why, as fucked up as the U.S. political system is, as polarized as it is,
the DeFi folks don't care about the art folks. They're like, fuck yeah, I want to collect your shit. I want to fucking flip your shit. Like, it's only one-sided. It's only one-sided.
What I
want to relocate your shit.
Bring more art.
Anytime that you get further, like, too far to one side, it's out of balance. And so Tezos is the extreme example, where artists were basically in control, allowed to sort of, like, you know, take it all the way in a certain direction, and that was to their detriment, right? They didn't understand the value of the traders and bringing in and incentivizing liquidity on their own platform. So yeah, man.
DP saying Beanie looks out for the little guy the same way Mr. Bumble was looking out for Oliver Twist when he asked for more soup. Marty McFly saying Beanie is better than Danny, and he's talking about Daniel Alegre, which I want to bring in just a second. Fellas, I do have a post here from Alive 1111 Alive or Alive 1111, however you want to say it, simply has a generative art piece. This is going to be one of the more sought after pieces in the collection.
Oh man,
I want to get him on Say What this week. The drop I don't think has a date yet, but he's been working on distributing those whitelists, of which we have 15. Okay, so we already given one away on Say What. I want to give one away here, so I want you guys to post Alive 11 or Alive 1111 in chat, and we will pick one from that for this free mint whitelist as well. Biggie, you had something?
Dude, I'm so pumped about this drop, man. I've gone to talk with Simply and like his inspiration and his use of AI here. I think you're right. It's gonna do phenomenally well. I'm very bullish about it.
All right, I see the first coming in here. Fister Karma says that looks unreal. I would definitely love to hear about Simply's process. I hadn't heard about him other than in the Say ecosystem, so I'm interested in like one of his first drops ever. Okay, so
and the story of how he ended up with the NYC and everything, it's really good. Like I think it'll make for a great show. Like, has he agreed upon it already for this week?
The whitelist has already been agreed upon. I don't know about the date and getting him
in.
No,
he did explain visiting.
Yeah. No, not yet. But I'll make sure we get that in here shortly. All right, recapping here on Say, and then we'll move on. We've been a little bit around, so I just want to come back and do this. Sensei Joe putting out some metrics. So you got user metrics here, 20 million in Say volume. I believe that's on the NFT side. 25,000 traders, 1 million visitors to Pallet Exchange. I want to give a quick shout out here. He did add the Web3 network in here. He did talk about Say What. So definitely commendable behavior there, kind of shouting out different creators on the chain and all that stuff. So yeah, appreciate it, Sensei Joe. Pallet, I mean, this is the look at Pallet right now. So 1,100 for Yakas. They've been all over the place. They've been up all the way up to 15. They've gone down to 950. Not much movement on the other collection side. I know that people were saying there's basically a sell-off. It looks like Colony has moved up since that mint, but the rest kind of staying stagnant. Outlines at that 145 mark. There were some other mints here. We can't really spend much more time. If you want to go back, we touched on a lot of projects that are upcoming. Say Avatars. Cappies has yet to be determined, but it's going to be, I think, the next big catalyst for the network. Guys, any last thoughts here on Say?
I will temper myself, Q, but y'all know how I feel. So,
all right. Any last thoughts here, fellas? Congrats again, Hudah. Do you have any last pieces on the? Are you going to be holding your Yaka Voyager?
I mean, dude, for it costing like $75 or whatever it was, yeah, there's no reason to not. If it falls to 300, I'm still up, right? I mean, yes, I'm holding it. I'm holding it forever.
So I have a theory with these. It's like these are going to be a bit of like a marathon versus a sprint, right? Like you're going to have to hold for a while in order to eventually achieve what you're looking for, right? Which is that token airdrop. And there will be many shiny objects and things dangled in front of you, asking you, Hudah, relinquish your Yaka. Sell it now. Release it from its bound. And
Gifted had us doing.
You're gonna have to be strong.
Gifted had us doing our bold predictions last week. I think a bold prediction, and I dropped this in the Telegram chat. I think if you hold the top 4 collections, I think the Pico top, like the highest top, the Bored Ape at 150, the everything's at 40 ETH, but I think you will have 6 figures at the top if you hold the top 4 collections.
So just four assets only.
Dobbs, Weebump, Saiyans, and Colony.
One of each, and that's 6 figures.
I really do. I mean,
like
that sounds
from
ridiculous.
Your mouth to God's ears, please. Yes, sir.
It sounds ridiculous,
Amen.
but when you think of like, there were collections like Cool Cats. I think was 100 grand, was it not? Like Doodles was at 40 ETH, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it's all true. Man, that's hard for me to picture, and I also don't doubt it too, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. It is super hard. It is a bold prediction, but I think the top of the bull, we are going to see these collections be extremely expensive if this continues.
Damn. I need I guess I need a Saiyan in there. I'm that's the one of the 4 I'm missing here.
Gif, you look like you were go ahead, Hudah.
Do you have did you say Colony in there?
Colony's in there.
So Yaka's not in there. Okay, got it. Yaka's not in the top 4. Maybe we'll be.
It just
Once
came
you
out
get
today.
it will be.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how the pieces work. Yes, I caught that.
I love it.
Did you want to take the opposite side of that? You looked a little suspicious on that one.
No, I'm sitting here chewing on it, trying to understand like what's going to be new and different and what's going to be the same about sort of last bull market. And I think anything's possible. We know, like, especially when DeFi tools is like are sort of layered into these things, that they can go fucking ballistic. So I guess it's possible. I'm wary of thinking that people are going to behave the same exact way as they did in the first NFT bull market.
That's been my experience. ICOs, NFTs, DeFi, it's all been the same. It's just a different medium for greed.
Yeah. I kind of think they all just actually bleed out as the ecosystem grows. That has been my gut feel on it.
Wow. So you think this is the top?
I don't think it's the top. I do think I don't see that we're anywhere near the top yet, but I do think is more, it's so easy to mint these things, I think. But yeah, as we get more PFPs and great communities in, we saw it leading up to Yaka. You need liquidity somewhere. You got to sell your shit.
Yeah, but there's always going to be
good job.
There's always going to be a handful of winners where the majority, like it's that top 5% or less, right? Like in when there's a ton, it's less than that. But there's always got to be that top 5 to 10 collections where the majority of a lot of people still go. Because yes, like you do get the long tail effects, of course. You always get that, and there will be some bleed across most of the collections, and again, most of them will go to zero eventually. But you'll get those winners at the top end where a ton of the focus still remains.
And I will say, if you look at other chains, what those winners are traditionally, most of the time, it doesn't mean all of them, they were the first ones. Right? Like very few, like I agree with you, Hudah. There are incumbents that can come and take place or supplant some of these top 10, let's just say, maybe even hit knock out one of the top 4. But traditionally, if you go to Bitcoin, if you go to Ethereum, if you go to anywhere else, most of the first collections reign supreme. I don't think it's only because of provenance, right? Like I think because they are early adopters, they also have a lot more skin in the game and are invested in the token and in the ecosystem in other ways, that they are the first there and they are there to build, right? And so I do think it's not going to be easy to knock those out. Now, taking on like Gift's sobering cap, putting that one on for a second, right? It's like, what can go wrong? What can go wrong to knock out Q's thesis, right? And to me, it's something that would suck liquidity in a different direction, right? There are these ALTCHAINS that we're going to be ALTCHAINS that we're going to be talking about right now. There are going to be competitors. Now, I do think that they will have to come up with a very attractive product, whether it's an NFT or a DeFi protocol, to really like change that direction. Now, very much like you and I, Hudah, are very big onto Ordinals because we call it liquidity adjacent, right? It's just like, it's very hard to compete there. You're going to have some L2s competing for the spot, but Ordinals themselves are just liquidity embedded almost, right? But when I look at SEI, it's almost the same thing with Solana, right? We all know Solana is going to be this bull cycle as Ethereum, right? And you're going to see it perform phenomenally well, or maybe have some hiccups and stumble. Either way, you're going to be looking at SEI, because it's a little brother, it's adjacent to Solana, and you're gonna have these comparables going back and forth, right? The tensors get airdropped a significant amount of value, that they perform well. Well, probably SEIans are gonna do really great, right? Vice versa, right?
Parallels.
They're gonna be in tandem with each other. I don't see them like decoupling. That's why I like SEI, even if Nifty Q's thesis that doesn't come true, that we go to that crazy euphoric high. To think that you're going to lose money with SEI is very hard, because it's the same thing with Ordinals, right? It's like, it's just right there, right next to it. You have too much crossover and too much people comparing the two to really, you would have to have a tremendous fuck up for it to go down. That's why I'm bullish on it.
Blast could really be a wrench in a lot of this. Like if Blast really takes off and takes a lot of mind share from Web3, we will see what happens. I mean, they're not built yet, but they have $2 billion and a lot of the traders. We want to talk about having a ingrained DeFi market. That motherfucking chain's already going to have that. It's whether they can develop the NFT side, which I think is easier to do. I think if you get some dope teams to build products over there, I think folks it's probably 50-50. Maybe I'm saying it's easier, but I think it's easier to what we've seen on yeah, maybe I'm even thinking about it in real time.
But
I don't know which one
but the expectations are also very, very high on Blast, right? Like stumble once, don't deliver the amount of value that people are expecting. We saw it happen with Blur Season 2, right? Where some people were not very happy with it, right? Like, I think that what Blast has is that euphoric fucking halo around it. Everybody knows about it. Everybody's expecting great things about it. And yes, the team is fucking top notch, right? But it also has a lot of competition.
I love the comparisons we're making cross-chain. I think there's a lot of smart comparisons there. Just to put in some kind of context here, Mad Lad's got up to 250 SOL, which is 25 Gs, right? Tensorians is sitting at, I need to make sure what it got to, but it's sitting at 87 SOL right now, which is 8,700 or 80 SOL. Sorry, let me go back and see what their all-time high was. But just giving you that comparison, Tensorians hit 125 SOL. So just holding those two would get you almost halfway there. And
Solana does have royalties now, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let me be annoying here for a second. Apologies. I know this is going to sound really redundant, but I'm taking it back to where a lot of this conversation originated, because if we're talking about things that can really derail the progress, I don't think we actually focus enough on what royalties do to regulate certain types of trading behavior. And what I mean is the paper handing, short-term flipping aspect, and the ability to make sort of just dumb decisions of just jumping in and out of things willy-nilly. Like, it regulates some of that. So if you want, say, to be seeing these incredible highs in the NFT market, don't underestimate the importance of having a royalty in there to bake in like more thoughtful trading and holding these floors up, because otherwise it might shoot up really quickly, but it's going to fall even faster. And again, the royalty actually provides a little bit of a stopgap and makes people think a little bit more about what they're buying and why they're selling certain things. And you might think like, oh, it's not really that big of a deal. But actually, when you scale that across everybody's transactions and everybody's thinking, it actually has quite a profound effect on the way that people connect, they collect and they behave.
It has more to do with the momentum of the market. Like, I don't look at royalties that much right now because the trades I'm making are netting me 3-4x. If the market goes away and people are actually losing money, then it becomes like, holy shit.
But when it slows down, especially I'm just saying it makes a difference in how people treat the underlying assets and how people behave.
Yeah.
And so if you really want to see it thrive and get to these levels, you've got to have people that are willing to really invest in these communities and believe in them a little bit more.
All right, Hudah, what are we showing off here?
Nothing, I was just showing you guys. That's my.
That's yours.
Yeah.
You got the laser eyes, Yaka?
He's cool, huh? Right?
You son of a.
He's a cool.
That's awesome, dude. That's an awesome look. All right, I promise
and
that
he's bald. And he's bald.
I promise.
Bald's a trait.
We got some crossover here with the Saiyans. All right, we're gonna hit a bunch of other stuff happening in the ecosystem. This is a personal anecdote here. Oh, by the way, you guys that are watching over on X, I see y'all commenting as well. Thank you so much for doing that.
Nice.
Leave a like over there, repost, do what you got to do. I already did my take, okay? I did my skit on this. Marty loved it, and Marty's here with us live. He's actually not 2x behind.
Marty doesn't love many things.
We touched on 20 minutes ago. And this interview occurred this morning on Nifty Portal. They had Daniel Alegre there. And I got to say, I already did my skit. I did not enjoy this. It was not a quote unquote bullish interview for me, coming from what I expect to be one of the top CEOs or top frontmen in the industry. And what you have to come to terms with here is that Daniel Alegre is an absolute full suit. Just come to terms with it. He is not, I mean, there was an opportunity and he was kind of shilling himself that way, right? Like, I'm Web3 now. I'm with the people. He's not. Two things I pointed out on GM Web3 that I'll point out again now. One, he didn't lie to anybody when he was asked whether he bought meme coins at all. First of all, it takes 5 seconds to buy a meme coin. You could do this shit on Coinbase now. It's not hard. You don't need to go to Etherscan and do all this stuff. You can be on Coinbase.
Why does it matter if a high profile CEO?
That's where we're not.
I get the idea.
It's just the culture, bro. It's just the culture.
He's wearing a hoodie, pretending to be one of us, but we can smell it on you.
It's not the only thing. Please do not view my conversations as we usually do in a vacuum and say, okay, now we're talking about people, they can't buy meme coins. They can't run a company if they don't buy meme coins. No, it's one of many blocks here. So just hearing the guy talk, he spends 10 minutes, says nothing. Classic CEO, classic suit. He doesn't buy meme coins. And then he looked the audience dead in the face and said, hey, my favorite thing, because the question was like, what did you build at Activision that you really liked? Oh, Diablo 3. Oh, Diablo, like one of the better franchises in the entire world, Diablo 3 there. And he said, but you know what's going to be better? Boldface, Dookie 2.
Oh my God. I was waiting to get to what was so bad about this. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely fucking insane.
I'll find it.
Talk about a roadmap, right?
This is also the quality of the video. Like, little things matter here. This was the quality of the video.
That actually bugs me more than any of this. Is that, like, it's not hard at this point to have a good internet connection and a decent video setup. If you're a fucking CEO making millions of dollars, bro.
All right.
Like, come on. Like, that actually infuriates me more than anything is sort of just not even understanding the importance of, like, your comms.
I hope that pissed Gordon Goner off too, actually. I bet it would.
I gotta watch what I say here, because down the road it'd be nice to have a sponsorship from Yuga or something like that. But God, this guy's got. I'm not gonna say it.
Question. So Activision, your former employer, has made games like Diablo, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, all huge.
Some of the best games to ever exist on the planet were just mentioned.
Huge names in the video game business. Which is your favorite?
Diablo. You know, I've always been a big Diablo fan. I was so excited to be able to.
This is going to take 10 minutes.
That had such an iconic brand.
Dude, you can just tell he's so out of.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean, dude.
He's not. Look.
He's got his arms crossed. Like, there's all the vibes. Like, if you were reading this,
dude, he's so uncomfortable. It's so painful. But like, let's
hold on. Let's get to the Dookie Dash. Let's get to the Dookie Dash quote. Hold on.
First is what you're very, very
Here
close.
Comes.
Second, and maybe even first, is what you're all going to experience with Dookie Dash Unclogged.
Hey, let's maybe give him the benefit of the doubt, and Dookie Dash is going to be something that we don't even know. Like, we don't even understand what that game is going to be.
It could be. But also, dude,
Temple Run mod.
I don't agree with the things that he's saying, and I wish he could figure out how to have a better internet connection or video. But here, I just want to contextualize it a little bit. This guy, not only is he like an extreme suit, so like the just being, in these types of conversations is awkward on that front. Like, he was like a CTO or something. You know what I mean? Like he was like the nerdiest of suits. Like, he was not a CEO, like front facing salesman type guy. So this is way out of his depth to be not only becoming like a front facing salesman type guy, but also to be doing it in maybe the hardest industry that is so anti-corporate, anti-suit. I just want to at least contextualize it, and that doesn't necessarily justify it fully. It's just like, why is this so awkward and painful? It just maybe helps you understand why this guy's struggling to figure out how to do this, man. Because he's not the personality type to be doing these types of interviews.
I know you mentioned the meme coin stuff, and I'll get off of this because there's more.
I just don't know that really matters that much. I understand why culturally it would be cool to have a CEO that's fucking degenning on meme coins.
He doesn't have to degen on meme coins. He just needs to buy a fucking one Doge and be like, yeah, I own some Doge. Or just fucking lie. Know enough about the ecosystem to fucking lie about it. That's what I'm saying, dude. This guy is they hired for where they want to go. And maybe that's legit. Maybe they'll get there. But right now they're squarely in Web3. They don't have a product. I mean, they can say Dookie Dash got out to people, but it really didn't. They hired for where they're going to go. So, yeah, your royalties or my royalties discussion is, I guess, the Daniel Alegre shit talking. That's how I feel. So
I just feel like Marty's,
what do you got?
Marty's having his way now. Marty's won. Marty's won.
This is the whole thing. I'm rocking the A-Fester. I still fuck with BAYC. It was just a shitty interview. Like, you could feel it from all four guests, a lot of which are BAYC holders. Bunny's like a top fucking holder in BAYC, and you could feel the
cringe.
The like, oh fuck, this is going poorly. Like, I've hosted enough shows to know that face.
Look at Kat's comment there, and that to me is my biggest takeaway here. They don't have the Web3 culture or they have none of that anymore. And I said before, I bet you Gordon Goner watches that interview and he feels the exact same thing. Like I'm sure it kills him, to be honest.
Yeah, because he has to clean up all the messes right now. Gordon's becoming the garbage man over there. He's basically like having to clean up everybody's fucking messes. And yeah,
you're 100% right. This is the last thing I'll say. He hasn't had a win since he came into the company. He even said, I came in after Dookie Dash, which was the last win Yuga has had.
Is this more about when he came in, or is it when Gordon left? Because I think Gordon was the soul of it.
I think Gordon left, and then they brought some other guys in maybe months later.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the last thing I'll say, man. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm completely transformed into a BAYC fodder. You guys know better than that. You guys know better than that.
I mean, you're a freaking Bored Ape. I mean...
Quantum Mary saying, I thought it was okay interview. I like Daniel. We're definitely blowing it out of proportion. Like, he didn't have a huge fumble. It's just for someone who's like still dealing with having to fucking defend BAYC every day, it wasn't fucking great. It wasn't great. All right, we're gonna hop into some other topics here. Do we want to hit? Is this really what's on my dashboard right now? Lazy Lions and Gutter Cat Gang. Are we doing this?
The cats are making a comeback. All of the OG 2021 OG cat PFPs are getting acquired and they're making comebacks. I mean, your reaction of I'm tired. Blah. This video's bad. This video's not bad though.
It's not bad.
It's actually pretty cool. It's better than I think their other stuff they put out.
Their other thing was like so bad that this comes off like it's fucking.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool video.
New Dawn. Okay.
Dude, BAYC vibes there.
That was always Gutter Cat's.
That was always
to copy the shit out of BAYC.
True.
They were basically the first Bored Ape derivative. Like after Bored Apes, a million other derivatives came out. They were like the first ones, which is why they still did well.
All right, I don't have a great transition here, so I'm gonna hold my man Hudah up for some responsibility here because he obviously covers the market really well over there with Crypto Slam. Does great 5-minute updates every morning, so I know I can count on him. So what's up, Hudah? What's going on in the market? What are you saying?
Jeez, say what you're trying to say, Q.
So I'm gonna peek because I before this have been pulled away from most of the market stuff. But dude, honestly, I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you what I really think is happening in the market right now. So like, let's say 4 to 6 weeks ago, I said that I feel this momentum and I see it in some charts moving from Solana and Bitcoin back over to Ethereum. I see this happening in the exact opposite direction right now. That is what I'm seeing for the most part here. I don't know if you're seeing it necessarily in floor prices or volume per se, but I'm seeing it like in the value of NFTs. Pull up. Actually, could I share my screen?
Yeah. So if it's gonna flip flop like this, Hudah, like do you not feel like you have to maybe zoom out so it's not feeling like you're kind of reacting to market movements in a sense, or do you have that feeling at all? Like if it's just like, oh, okay, it's moving back. Oh, okay, it's moving back. Is that
I don't know if it matters. I think it's just more important that you play in both ecosystems, right? It's not like I'm like selling out of one to get in the other. I think it's just being aware of where to kind of focus and put your attention if you're a very, very active trader. But this chart we're looking at here, this is the value of the Solana ecosystem since the 26th when the WEN token dropped, right? I think this is going to be super, super interesting looking at, well, this is 7 days, but looking at it, comparing it to ETH over the same time frame. To me, again, we saw the same pattern, but opposite the 4 to 6 weeks ago. It's flipping in Solana's favor now. And dude, the Jupiter drop tomorrow is going to be massive, like massive. So liquidity over there, their DeFi platform, right? Jupiter flipping Uniswap in volume. I think all the attention for people who are looking to trade and play and do whatever, I think it should be all Solana right now.
Yeah, Quantum Cats is another one that's on Ordinals, but you're basically saying everything's going to be flowing from the Jupe airdrop into other projects and just more activity.
Tomorrow, I think we're going to see Solana just blow the fuck up. It's clear there, you know, up 4.5%. The value of the NFT ecosystem up 4.5% just since WEN, and I think WEN was nothing compared to this Jupe drop.
Okay. Well, I'm not really positioned on much on the Solana side, to be honest. I've got a huge fucking sorry bag of Star Atlas, but as far as PFPs are concerned, I don't really have much. Are you looking at any? So what you just told me was it's about to fucking blow.
It's about to blow.
In or
not priced in? So okay, stuff I'm looking at. I am very tempted to grab a Rubber. I'm tempted to grab a Fragana. I'm tempted to grab a Crypto Undeads. There was something Fox Federation, fuzzy Fox like fucking Fox Federation. I don't know. Yeah. There's definitely a few I'm looking at. Rubber to me is super interesting, and I messaged Biggie about this the other night. Not that one. There's a different. It's around a 16 soul floor. Okay. So I messaged Biggie about Rubber. This one to me is like maybe one of the most interesting pieces over there, or collections. Everyone on Solana is looking for the next Fidenza, or their first Fidenza, I should say. They want it, dude. Like, they want it in a way they just might will that to happen with this collection, maybe. It's a good-looking collection. Collection minted at 0.25 Sol. Thing shot up to 20 Sol. And I think right now it's like 16 to 17. But again, everyone's still talking about it. My worry, what is this down to, 15?
13.6.
Interesting.
That's the instance sell. That's like
buy now 15 to 16.
15.
Okay, dude, here's the thing with this collection, what I was discussing with Biggie. If this was a generative collection that was made with actual code and an algorithm, I would be all over this, and I would be thinking this could be that Fidenza type piece that we could see like a 50 Sol floor. But this guy's process, I think, was just mid-journey. You know what I mean? I don't know that he did any tweaking, right? Gift, did he do anything in Photoshop or any post?
I don't know, but if you pull it up, go pull up one of them, because I've been doing a fair amount of AI art myself and like getting into different processes.
Quantum exactly.
He probably at least up-resed it. I don't know, dude.
No, if you click in, he definitely did. Like, there's another layer you can click in deeper, and they're very high res, I guess.
Okay, so then at least he did enough processing to up-res them, but beyond that, like I don't know exactly. Yeah, I'd have to analyze it a little bit.
That's
more.
Where my head's at, dude. I messaged him. I didn't DM him. I wrote to him on Twitter. Like he had replied to something I wrote. I replied back. I'm like, hey, do you have any interviews out there where you get into your process? And
I don't think. Yeah, so
he wants to talk about it.
I think in the vacuum of a legitimate generative art, maybe this does well because of that. But to try and position it as high quality generative art or something you compare with a Fidenza, I don't think holds up. And again, maybe the Solana crowd, because they're just eager to have high, like legit art on their ecosystem, they'll all rally around it and value it almost similarly.
Yes.
But I think, again, if you actually analyze the artistic integrity and the craft and process that goes into something like this, it's not even in the same ballpark as something like a Fidenza.
Agreed.
Because so like generative art like a Fidenza is very hard to make. Like that is very difficult. There's so much craft. There's so much craft, and then the fact that you also are, integrating the emergent characteristics of chance, and when it's minted, it's generating something totally unique. Like all of that makes what happens with the Fidenza and how it's created so much more valuable and interesting than something like this. Which again, like Midjourney, as like. I'm not saying there's no value in creating beautiful things, but just to stack them side by side, it's like you can churn out stuff like this on Midjourney like that. Like literally somebody who has no experience in Midjourney in 2 to 3 hours can basically produce these.
Yep. I got to say, I agree with every single thing you said there, everyone. And so I'll give you ultimately maybe it's a prediction even. I kind of think, and the reason I'm thinking of getting into this is because of the liquidity coming into Solana that we were just talking about, combined with just the people who want this to be that piece. My gut's telling me this piece is going to be 25 to 30 SOL in the next week or two, which is crazy.
We love a good prediction.
That's my prediction. Yeah, I can see that because again, there's not the like being early matters, and because there's not a lot of other quote unquote fine art.
My question there,
Quantum's got a hard statement too.
It's going to be, like I think, I agree with you. On many occasions, we've seen degens will something into reality, right? I don't know, man. Like I can see your thesis playing out maybe if the right degens get on board or anything like that. But I think it's also there's a chance that it's a tall order because if you really want the collectors to come and buy this stuff, they're gonna want to have that information, how it was created. They're gonna look into it from every which way, and they're not gonna want to back something, talk about it, or promote it and put their name on it because it can also come back to bite them in the ass, right? And honestly, to me, it's a beautiful looking piece, but I think even just the style of it and the color of it, I sent you the copies. I think it's very much like perk work and Fidenza influenced, right? And while that's fine and it works, it doesn't really jive, I think, with the ethos of the collectors that one would hope to see if we're gonna talk about it in like Fidenza in a Fidenza like manner, right? Like Hardo's golden ratio, I can see, right? Like that guy is a legit artist. You can see the collectors that are already collecting are like part of like Collectors Corner and Proofers and people that actually like do like to collect fine art because they see what you see, Hudah, and it's very you can tell that you can see the craft, the craft, the story, and all of that. With this guy, there's a lot of suspicious things there. Maybe you're right. Maybe they'll will it, but I think it'll be short lived. I don't think it'll stay there.
Yeah, Quantum Variant even going as far as to say he's not a true creator because his other projects. And I don't know as much, but I guess, he's not as well known or legit of an artist as, maybe some others would be. But if we're being brutally fucking honest and not just buying into the narrative and the hype of everybody that's trying to get you to, basically be their exit liquidity on these things, this is an AI derivative of Fidenzas. Like that's what it is. Like they're pretty nice to look at. They have their own sort of aesthetic tweak to it, and there's some of them and I'm like, okay, that's a nice looking piece. But if you're being brutally honest, what is it? It is a derivative AI product. That's what this from a not apparently not very well known artist or super legit artist. So just what's the point? The point is I kind of agree with the idea that I don't know that it'll hold that much value long term. In the short term, I could see Hudah's prediction doing well, but I'd be more looking at those Hardo golden ratios as well, or maybe some of the other artists that are doing legit generative art or something. I don't know.
DP saying Soul is like a kid with pro talent hanging out with the wrong crowd. I guess I can kind of see where you guys are going with a lot of this. Yeah. Okay, Marty McFly is saying Moonbirds is the art collector's PFP. Quantum saying I found the prompt in the image data. You can enter it into Midjourney and recreate it.
Really?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay. He even left the prompt.
Oh my god!
So there's not even any secret to like how he fucking generated these things.
This was my big fear. Like, and I do like artists that share the prompt, but my fear was that it was one prompt, not going any further to tweak it. What I had read that it was this prompt that over 6 months he just kept output, and picking out his favorites. And I'm like, that to me is not a process that I value, and that I think most other art collectors would value. Yeah.
All right, we're going to transition here. We've got about 5 minutes left in the show. We did have it titled, what are the top alt chains to get into right now? There's a ton that I could mention, a ton that we have been researching on. Manta Network is another one that had some updates. Obviously, SEI we've been spending a lot of time in. I do want to transition a little bit to two others, or actually three others. GIF, we didn't have any update on this Rarichain here other than Sarah Script coming into GM Web3 and saying that basically artists are being really highlighted here on the Rarichain early. You can see Ed Balloon here had a piece, 24-hour open edition at 0.02, and she was mentioning a ton of other artists. I think Jimena had a piece with Rarichain. So it looks like they're leaning heavily into the NFT side, the art side. But yeah, any updates on Rarichain, and then we'll get into a couple others too.
So we started to dig in this because we really haven't talked about it at all. It's an L3. It's an EVM compatible L3 that does run on the Rari token. So Rarible was actually really, I think, the first NFT marketplace that did launch with token incentives and its own token. So they deserve a lot of credit. We've kind of always wanted them to succeed. They've kind of had some starts and stops, and they were kind of beat out of the market by OpenSea for a while, and now that OpenSea is kind of going away, maybe there's more opportunities, but they keep reinventing and trying new things. What I'm trying to wrap my head around right now, because we're looking at all these different alt chains and all these different opportunities, because yes, there are these new chains do present potential opportunities to be early and build and find maybe new audiences, etc. But what I'm trying to think about is like, okay, where does all of this end up going a year, 2 years, 3 years from now? Because you are also splintering the audiences, splintering liquidity, and there's just so many different collections that can actually hold value. Do we go towards this omni-chain future where the chain for art doesn't even actually matter? You know what I mean? Like that is maybe one of the best situations, I feel like, is that maybe in the future you're on one marketplace like a Magic Eden or someone that aggregates everything, and it can basically convert your Ethereum or convert your Solana into whatever you need to buy to get those pieces. And so you kind of have to care less. You don't have to worry about bridging. You don't have to worry about like the intricacies of different platforms or wallets or whatever. If we get to that point, then I think it makes more sense in my head to keep like bifurcating or trying these new things. But at a certain point, like not all of these are going to succeed. And yeah, I just don't know. I want Rarichain to do well. I want Rarible to do well. And Jimena, I know Jimena's mint went incredibly well over there. I don't know if we can pull that up, but I think she like had thousands or something minted in a very short period.
Jack's nailed it. I mean, I think that's a great point there. Chains will be the new URL. I mean, there's going to be an infinite number of chains, in my opinion. I mean, I think that's kind of obvious.
It's tough to marry that with the fact that all of these chains are building out their own tokens, though, and they all have these like ridiculously complex tokenomics that are associated with it. So it's not as simple as saying these are going to be the new URLs. I
think it's more like they're browsers in a with it may be closer to that, or operating. Yeah, I guess a browser would be closer. But here's what's interesting too with this kind of multi-chain environment. I was chatting with the Magic Eden team last night, the team that built this wallet. And man, it is their goal to have it where you are on their website and you're not even thinking about the chain, because you're paying for whatever NFT you want in whatever currency you have that their wallet supports, which is so freaking cool. That is ultimately, I think that's the end game.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think that this is the road that we're going down. So, and I don't know if I'm okay with it or not. And for this reason, one of the reasons I really like soccer or football, however you want to freaking say it,
football,
is the differentiation between how the styles. And I think all of these chains have separate cultures, right? And so, like, to say that we're headed into this future where it's just everything together and they'll be side by side and you don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. There is an element to this where each chain has their own culture and it feels like at least somewhat good to the experience.
What's beautiful is we're just playing into why decentralization is so awesome. We can have this platform that it's all lumped in together, and you can do that. You know, you can do your buying, your selling, your trading, and you can live in that community. And then separately, you're going to have these awesome communities with their own flavors and their own type of product, and they can live independently too. But
you can only support so many ecosystems that way, because what we're seeing actually, I'll draw a parallel right now between the streaming wars that we've been seeing over the last 10 to 15 years. Because what happened was Netflix came and set a standard, and then everybody and their mom jumped into trying to pivot to streaming. And so then what did you have? You had about 10 different streaming, no more, probably like 15 to 20, because you had like the Crackles and like all these other like small ones too, like 20 to 25 different fucking video streamers all popped up to try and establish their business, get as many subscribers as they could, and be a big player. And now what are you seeing? You know, now you're getting to the point that all of those businesses are losing money hand over fist. And you're getting consolidation. So eventually you're like, yeah, maybe we go like this and we like go crazy and we get a whole bunch of different platforms and ecosystems and chains all doing a million different things. But at the end of the day, they cannot all sustain. They will not. And you'll get down to like the top 5 or top 3 at the end of the day, where almost everything lives. And yeah, maybe there's like some small things doing this and that here, but they're not going to be significant in the long run.
Marty McFly saying, I set up a Magic Eden wallet. They are airdropping. Jack's Hideaway saying, tokenomics that seem complex now will be ubiquitous. Next gen will be token natives. I've got somebody blowing leaves outside my window right now, so if you hear that. Jack's Hideaway saying, as did websites have their own culture. And then Yassine is saying, soon to be on MetaMask. DragonSwap has closed beta open for 24 hours in their Discord. And Quantum is also saying, if a chain doesn't support EVM and make it easy to bridge, it will go to 0. That's certainly a take. Bridging is undoubtedly one thing that's gotten way easier over the years.
All these chains that we're looking at are EVM compatible. That's one thing. Like all the ones that we're talking about, they're all EVM compatible.
So we're not going to have much time. We're going to be back tomorrow, trying to keep us to around an hour. So we'll definitely dive in. We'll touch on Berachain and Base real quick. This is a look at the Base NFT ecosystem. I've been pounding the table in the Telegram chat saying, look, I'm seeing some real shit on Base, like some real momentum. A month ago, we jumped into a bunch of different chains. We were kind of looking around. Base was one that we had a narrative for, but the volume wasn't there. And now still it's not, right? Like if you're looking over the last 1 hour, let's say 6 hours here, some of these top collections, like you could claim Mochimons as the top collection. There's been 11 sales, right? So it's extremely early on the timeline, but it's gone a tick above where it was when we were looking at this in December. I will say, just from an anecdotal perspective, I told you guys about my fucking meme coin Bumble with the Base Gods. It looks like they have an NFT now as well. Maybe that's a play for you guys. Anyway,
no.
Yeah, so it's
bad.
It's a meme coin for sure. They're again.
I'll say this,
die on this hill again. Here we go.
You got great instinct, so I definitely going to be diving into Base.
So again, not buying Base Gods because I think they're going to develop the next awesome marketplace on NFTs, or they're going to create something really cool. This is a flip. This is I don't know if I could fucking plaster across my forehead any clearer for you, Gift Dad. I just want to let you know.
I know it's Tyler, it's just like whatever, dude. Whatever.
I just look, I get vibes like what I hear from you, like I get from Kane Mayfield. And sometimes I'm like, bro, did you choose the wrong Like you
No,
know what we're
no,
doing
no.
here? We're flipping like literal shit coins, and they're going to create shitty products that are going to go 10x.
It's just very shitty products.
Yes, you're in the wrong industry, sir. If that's what you're looking to get everything is quality everything. This is not. Again, please. There's multiples of these, and I hate to have to say it every single time because you're sighing at everything.
I just wish it wasn't so ugly.
Then stay on ETH. There's a lot of culture and a lot of things happening on ETH that are way quality. It's so weird to go out into the front lines and then be like, why is there a pack of wolves out here about to eat me? It's like, well, what do you mean? Go back
Are these
to
wolves
Dallas.
civilized?
Yeah, go back to Dallas. They're creating a lot of infrastructure.
Do they have to be such ugly wolves?
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
And there's Indians and there's dysentery, and if you want little nice clean products,
bro, you don't
Dallas
have to preach to me on the Wild West analogy.
Then why every day do I have to make this disclaimer of like, dude, it's a fucking meme product. Their market cap is like $80,000.
So okay, but so is Mochimon's, and the Mochimon's quality of the art is at least decent. That's all I'm saying.
By the way,
that like I could get that on Fiverr. I could literally get this on Fiverr if I promise I will have a product by the end of the week that looks like Mochimon, and I won't have spent more than $100 on it.
All right, I'll take that bet.
All right, okay.
But you're talking about a full generative art collection, right? You're not just saying one piece.
Have you been on Fiverr and typed in NFT collection?
No, because that's not where I source my artists.
It's called market research, sir.
Yeah, but all right, if you can generate a generative art collection for $100 by the end of this week at that scale,
it looks like the going rate is around $200 to $400. Let's do this as an exercise here because all of this looks like Mochimon to me. $35.
Yeah, well, those ones right there.
$30.
The cats right
here we
there
go.
on the left.
It's literally them.
Oh wow, this might be Mochimon. Hold on, I think I found Mochimon for $10. I think I found it, guys. This is the actual artist.
Oh my god.
Like I tried to talk about it yesterday, saying like this is a quick flip. I just every time like those fucking meme coins, dude, went fucking 70x. In the like, if you put in $1,000, you'd have $70,000 right now. Crazy. Like it's just a flip, and it has not like the mental model is just like all off for this, and I'm just tired of defending it. Like I truly am. This is Berachain. Biggie's brought this to us. Oh, these look like shit. We shouldn't talk about them. All right, later.
No, but
we're off.
1,000. It's 69,000 each though. Q, go buy one.
You probably would have faded them at 0.0001 ETH because they looked like this.
No,
Bong Bears. The NFT side of this is not what I'm interested in. Really, they've gone crazy. GIF was talking about them on GM Web3. Like they're essentially a token multiplier. And the more thing I'm interested in is like the validation concept was really cool. We got to the bottom of that, but also just what you guys should be doing. You should be setting up on the Berachain RPC. So basically, you can set it up just in your MetaMask like you would Polygon or something like that. Get on the test nets. We've shown you on the network before how to access this. I could try to find that thread from Easy. I think it was Easy. It might have been somebody else. But I'll try to find that, put it in the description. But to be fair, like I wouldn't say buy any of those NFTs. Biggie, have you looked at this ecosystem at all?
You're muted.
The bears, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I've looked at the ecosystem. I saw the NFTs immediately, and they were absurdly priced, and they've pumped since like 3 or 4x. They've been absurdly priced from the get-go, and if you look at the activity, you can see they haven't been traded much. Some of them have even been gone like a bit like from wallet to wallet. I think these were just, used as a fundraising mechanism when they conceived of this idea, and fairly so. If they're the ones that provided liquidity for this venture, they should be rewarded and they'll get the airdrop. I personally am going through the Galaxy smart contract route to try to secure some type of airdrop from this project. But I think it's a serious project. You can tell it's a serious project by the people that it's being backed by. And yeah, What else is there to say?
In any way, can you explain did like the Pixel Bears come first and then they evolved over time?
Honestly,
these are the newest ones, I think, right?
And I honestly think like the art is done this way on purpose, right? Hudah, like, I mean, we see this with the wizards and cats, right? Like they're not, I mean, they're I don't know. I wouldn't say they're like, ooh, fine art. Maybe they'll turn into something of the sort, right? With the use of recursions and like the evolution of at least the cats. I don't know about the wizards, but you know, I think in the end, you know, you just got to remember that these, like Kobe said, these are tokens with JPEGs attached to them. It's really a lot more than, you know, what meets the eye. And so I think some teams like to play with that idea sometimes and deliberately, you know, launch with like hideous fucking art to try to dissuade some people or have, because honestly, it stirs this type of conversation, right? And it's like, really, that thing is fucking worth so and so much. But really, it's what the value that it provides, right? The access that it gives sometimes, what have you. So yeah, but I understand, Gif, why sometimes like you can cringe and be like, really, this is hideous. This is not something I would hang on my wall. But
I can also
there's more to it sometimes than that.
I just stood up for like my thesis for Bitcoin puppets. I literally can understand like the self-aware nature of creating bad art as a statement or as a style or a purpose. What I'm railing against is when you're just creating bad art without
this is just for controversy to enrage people, right? To be like,
at least again, really? It's intentional. Then, you know, at least you have an intention and self-awareness. I just think some of these are actually trying to create like a cool PFP, and they're just awful.
Like try to pay 15 ETH for these things once the airdrop occurs, right? Like they'll go to 0, right? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they have a multiplier or some additional access to it. But the real reason they're pumping is because of the value that they will secure once this chain launches.
It's not also Q thinks that I don't understand.
I know,
like,
but I just have to hear you
on.
Talk about it all the time. I'm like, I heard you 2 weeks ago.
It was just my reaction. Just my reaction was
dude,
just a cringe, bro. I just cringed because those things were ugly. That's all.
I mean, how many times do we have to get wrecked based on looking at the art?
Oh God, it's endless.
Like, yeah,
it's endless, bro. You don't have to remind me.
Anyways, I'm gonna be creating this collection. I don't know whether to go basic for $10, standard, more traits for 100. Or I could go for the premium option at 200 and go with 50 traits. The crazy thing about this, if we tied in some story building here, we would actually this collection would do well. Biggie, I know you got to run, brother. I appreciate you getting with us here on your vacation for a ridiculous episode of NFT Live. Y'all have been awesome all the way through. Let's go around the quad box here and get up out of here. Hudah.
Oh, my bad. I'm flustered, dude. I'm looking at Quantum Cats and I'm just so flustered and like excited for tomorrow. That's all that's on my mind right now. It's a really, really big day for those guys. Shit, it's not even tomorrow. It's the day after. I'm out of this.
I feel you though, man. Until that thing is secured in your wallet, you're going to have that tingly sensation, right? It's like, is my transaction going to go through? Is the wallet going to fund that? Blah, 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 blah. I get you, brother. But you'll be there soon, man.
Yeah,
it's great to be here, man. And honestly, it's an honor. I always enjoy these shows. That's why I keep doing them. I love you, fam. OVOT. We'll see you tomorrow. What new trouble we can get into, we shall see. Love my co-host too. Always the best.
Biggie's managing to style up the place, doing the entire show in his sunglasses all week, just reminding us. Yeah.
Is Biggie always on vacation?
Yeah, he's always on vacation.
Like it.
Don't fade it.
Yo, smash the like. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate y'all. And we'll be back tomorrow with more awesome conversations. Our Vibe, our tribe.